Gamerdude 2088, and we're back for the next episode of First Impressions. Today we get to talk about Grand Chase. It just had its global release the day before, and we got a chance to mess around, play. I did a little stream and everything on Twitch. It was a good time. But let's talk about my first impressions and what I think of this game. So far, it's been pretty great. But let's dive into some of the things that the game has to offer. So, first off the bat, when I was going into like the story part of it and everything, I really don't read a lot of stories in these games, so I don't exactly know all in full details everything that's going on. But it looks like they're on the search for the Grand Chase or whatever that may be in this game. And what I kind of like and don't like at the same time, I'm not sure how to take this one, but it's like, all right, if you just let the chat just sit there, in most games it sit until you tap or click or whatever to move into the next line or dialogue that's in the little story part. But this one, it kind of keeps moving, so it's like, all right, I don't like it because as if I'm doing something else, or if in my case I read really slow, so if I'm trying to read and it's a lot to happen at one time and I couldn't read it all, that's like so it kind of makes me not even want to engage into the story just because of it. So I'm kind of like in and out, and then at the same time it makes it so I don't have to click, and then I can do other things, and it still progresses on, and then they just go into the battle and all of that. So it's kind of like a toss-up of how I feel personally about it. You might feel different. So as you can see, it's a 2D type of game. You got a host of characters and stuff. I like Olivia. Olivia is cool. And this dude reminds me of Reinhardt, so badass. But so the game is played in like top-down isometric, and it kind of like you move through the dungeon and everything, and things of that sort. We can actually go into the adventure mode and look at a battle. We'll do like something from like the early part, so we can just go through real easy. Just click on this one. So it's your standard, clear 3-star, get the little rewards type of thing, and then other rewards you can get for clearing them. Then it has a recommended battle power that you should have to clear relatively easy, because they go off the battle power system, which that's kind of cool. It's alright. So this is like my party and everything. I'm really into the colorful thing, but everything seems like it's placed relatively well. Like the contrast between the things on screen makes sense, so it's not like things are hidden when you're trying to look for certain things, which is really good. I like that in the interface. So here it puts you right into the battle, and let's stop here. You do have auto battle, which is good, but you have auto movement because you move across the screen, and then you can click and move your characters around, drag, and they can go past the enemies or things like that. You can auto move so you can do it. Then you have the skills, which goes on cooldowns after you click on them, and then it slows down here because I clicked on it, and then I can do that, and he does the skill or whatever, and then we can choose. And then it shows you the area and how the skill is used as well, which is pretty good. And then as these little meters fill up, this one is the number for your skill. So this is what the skill costs, and this one is for like their special skills and what they may cost to you. So once this fills up to about 20, because you need 20 to do that, then they can do like an ultimate move, which provides a lot of extra powerful mechanics and stuff. And then we can do the auto skill in there. They just do all of their skills as they go along, which is pretty good. You got to get a little bit far into the first part of it, which is not that bad. I think like the first 30 minutes or so, then you'll have both your auto functions unlocked, unless you're just racing through it. Then maybe the first 15 minutes, I don't know. I guess it all depends, because because you can always skip the story. And I like that they do that in the games. Like for people that don't really care, that don't really want to do the storylines, they can just skip, go past, and then just get right into the action. Okay, well, this is a good time to talk about the extra skills you bring into the fight. I didn't click on it to show you those, but you have skills that you can research and learn that adds in an extra flair in battle, and those also go on like a little cooldown after being used. And like this is your skill list, and then you have and this is for your party. Like it helps your party either do damage, heal, buffs, debuffs, things like that. Then you got passives and defender, which I'm not sure what this one is about. I think this is more so of like the PvP side of things. So for like your defense, you have buffs that you can use as well. Now we have one, we can buy the extra expansion to research more than one, but we're not going to do that. But we got one little slot open, and I think I'm going to invest more into, can I do this one again? Yep. So now got a 2-hour wait, and then it should be done. And then this is like the party setup. The skills that we can bring in are total battle power. And then my favorite part, which I wish so many more games implement this mechanic, especially gacha games. This is probably the greatest mechanic ever, and I like to call it the gambit system because of my Final Fantasy background. And if you know anything about like Final Fantasy 12, the gambits where you can like set the kind of AI you want your units to use, you have this. You have their skills, you have their priority plus their frequency of what skill that they'll use. You can turn it off if you don't want them to use that skill on auto, and just make it a skill that you want to use. And then like I said, the frequency that it will be used, if it's not going to be used much, or if you want it to be used often. I like my characters aggro, so especially my tank, so I have him use his first skill, which is a charge, to get right into the fight, and then he goes right after his charge, he drops his second skill, which this one I believe it's a taunt. Yeah, it's a taunt. So the things that's within the area, he taunts them. So he charges into the enemy, taunts them, and then that allows my other characters to do their things, like my DPS able to do their job and things of that nature. You can just set them up how you want them to work, and I think it's a pretty cool mechanic. It's not like real intuitive, but it definitely works. It definitely works. And then you have like your healing mechanic, like when the heal should go out. You can set it to like just don't use any healing at all, and you can set it like if you want them to be real low or almost immediately. I think the 70% is like pretty good right now, because I think this was like the standard one. But I guess as I get better healers and we get stronger, then I'll probably lower it, because I know my healer will be able to keep us alive at a lower rate of HP. But right now, since we're still relatively early game, that's not necessary. Let's talk about everybody's favorite thing to do when they start a new gacha, and that's re-rolling. I'm not really into the re-rolling thing myself. I like to just get in and play, and just whatever the game gives me, that's cool. Sometimes I might do a little re-roll here and there, but they do give you an option. They do give you an option, like here in the shop during the summon section. When you first start off, you get a 10 times summon, and you get the I'm not sure how many times you get to do you get to do it. I don't recall, but you get to do it. If you get a SR, then go for it. Like I didn't pull any SR, and I didn't really care to. It was more so like all the summons they give you early on, and the SRs is like the SRs are like your 5 stars, and then your S's are like your premium 4 stars. So I was like, they gave you an option to choose one premium 4-star, and I was like, all right, I wasn't sure who I really wanted, and I'm like, all right, I think I wanted to get the healer or get the tank. I went with the tank, but I still wanted Olivia, the one DPS I was that I have, and I was like, oh cool, I pulled her too. So I'm like, all right, I don't want to reroll because I want her and I like this tank as well. So I'm like, all right, regardless of me getting an SR or not, I'm going to keep this. And then you can you go through reroll again, I guess, until you get what you want, until it's done. And then if it's not what you want, then you start back over. And I think it only takes about 3 3 or 4 minutes to get back to that point. I mean, you go through the little tutorial stuff pretty fast, skip through all the little talking, and it doesn't take long to get back to re-rolling if that's your fancy. So none of that 15-minute wait stuff. I'm talking about you, Epic 7. Still a good game. So let's go here into like the battle section where you have the trial tower, which if you're familiar with these kind of games, you know the trials is usually a bunch of different floors. It gets progressively difficult as you go along, and that's pretty cool there. Then you have this cool thing, dimensional boss, which somebody even actually got one open, where you summon a boss and then you and your friends can like take it on, and then you get like rewards at the end of it. So let's get into a battle. All right, so we had to get that, so we got our accessory chest. So we're just gonna jump right into this battle. Now, even though the game goes on auto, there's still like a lot of like manualing, because there's different things that happen in the fight. Like it tells you the area of the effect of how they're gonna attack. So you kind of want to move your characters to not take damage. Get away from that, guys. All right. So to not take damage from the fight, which makes things a little better. It's not 100% the best, because you see it takes them forever to get out the way if they're on the side that the attack is going to be on. So we move back here, we get away from it, and then just let them go ahead and do their things. It's already on auto. They're not going to get away from this. I find it's like, if you're really into the movement type of style of gameplay, then this might fit you. Like at first I really wasn't liking it. I'm like, oh man, I gotta move. Like where's the auto? Is the auto even good? Because I really rate these games based on how well your auto is, and the auto in this game is pretty decent. I mean, I can let them just go on auto and do their thing, but they won't get as much damage as they would without some manual play in the midst of things. All right, back up. All right, she's always taking so much damage. It's funny though, she does all the tanking and she's not even a tank, this little chick right here. So now we're taking a lot of damage here. Ouch, that hurts. So we can do this, click on that since we got that up, and then she does like pretty cool damage. You see like she just like was stacking it up. So gave us a little time to really get our stuff together, and we should be able to clear this. Gonna move them back to the middle just in case. Yeah, I kind of figured it was gonna come from that side. So nope, back it up everybody. Yeah, look, we under a time limit as well, but we're gonna clear before the time limit. And there you have it. Boss is defeated, and we get our rewards. And done, and we get some gear from it, and I like that, because I'm looking at the game like, man, how do I even get gear in this game? I mean, you do go through like the scenarios, but I think this is where you're gonna probably get most gear so far from what I'm seeing is from these dimensional bosses. So I guess as many of them as you can do. We still haven't got PvP, daily defense, hero towers, wizard's labyrinth, whatever all this stuff is. Some of it sound like familiar. I mean, you know, PvP, daily defense, I'm not so sure what that may be about, but we still got like parts to clear before we can do any of this. Then let's look at the guilds. We got some cool things with the guilds as well. I mean, your standard, you know, pay, start your guild, get your members, blase split. But we have a material exchange, and these little mats up here, these Evo stones, help power up your heroes in this game, and that's pretty cool. And you can see we did some kind of exchange in here already. So it's like you could ask for something and then give something else. So if somebody needs one thing, they can take another one. This game does have an in-game chat system, By the way, as well, you know, the guild chat, normal chat. And then chat channels. I didn't even know that. You have chat channels that you can go through. Oh, and you can change the language. That's pretty cool. See, I never looked at any of this stuff because, like, you know, if you're part of my community, we use Discord. And, you know, anybody in my my community, you know the Discord and everything. If you have joined or not. If not, you know, it's definitely going to be in the description box below. Then you got the little mission stuff, so you know, as you go along and start doing parts of the game and everything, you get the missions, get rewards, typical stuff like that. And then this guild board is pretty good. You can advertise your guild so it shows up on a board. So I can play this, register my guild, register guild advertisement, which is cool. Can write an introduction to members. It shows, like, you know, basic information. So that's pretty good. And then I'm looking like, whoa, you can even got a section for advertising a player. Now, I really don't know too much about this, and it doesn't look like I can do really much about it either. So just a bunch of cool things. So I'm really gonna look more into that kind of stuff a little later and figure that out. But let's look at our heroes and some of the stuff they got going on. So, you know, this is the little setup and everything. I still haven't unlocked to set up a defense, and I'm assuming that's PvP stuff. Then we back here with the skill search, and then this is where those well, no, this is a different part, but extra little stats you can get from training. So you just do that, and then the amount you have, the amount it costs, and you can just boost them up or whatever. And then the formation, and then this icon right here, where's the asset, that's like the grade of them. It tells you how good that they are, of a unit basically. And then next to it is the type they are. This is the tank emblem, the physical DPS, the support, the range DPS, and then we got the magic DPS here. So that's your basic team like setups and everything. So click on them, manage. So everything's pretty simple. It just like the way it flows and everything is really good, and I like that. So then you have your little leveling stuff. You got your gear. We can put the little boots we got on him to level him up more, and then we can boost those up as well. We got the upgrade, so we can just level that up. And then now it can downgrade, and is a chance for it to fail when you upgrading. But for it to not downgrade, you can do the safe upgrade, which costs significantly a lot more to do it, but it'd be hard to get it past 4, and I think 9 is the maximum that I've seen so far, because it just like caps out for me. I'm not sure if there's like better gear or something like that you can do. And then his skills and all of that stuff and what they do, the stats that's on the unit, a little backstory about the unit. I haven't really gotten to any of that kind of stuff. It says how to acquire. Wow, that's cool. Like, so I guess it tells you how you can get them and everything as well. Where this is how, like, you can level up, because he started out as a 4-star, and you just put these into them, and this is the percentage of if it will level him up or if it will fail. And at 4-star you got to get him to +6. This one I believe is +9, which shows here as a 5-star, to be able to evo him to a 6-star. And that's where you're going to need those one materials that I was showing you before, that you can exchange in the guild in order to do that. I think we can level. Who's going to level up? It's going to level up her before we go to our growth, and we just put those into her and upgrade. So we just got to get one more. Boom, good, perfect. Now she's a 6. And then you got all kind of stuff. You got prestiging and awakening, promoting. I don't know what all of this does, but it's cool. Now we're at the evo stage. Now she's a 4-star. We got enough mats, so we just pay for it, evolve, and boom, 5-star now. And she's even stronger. So that's some of the basic stuff. This video is pretty long, and I wanted to make it short, but I know that they do take that a lot, like really trying to explain these things. If you're not saying it extremely fast, and that's just not my thing, or capabilities at the moment. But it's an interesting game. I'm definitely going to play it a little more. I hope you guys enjoyed and everything. If you do, make sure you please give it a like. We're going to talk about a few more games. I'm waiting for like 3 more games to come out in December, and then I think the rest of them comes out starting in January next year. We're still going to look at a bunch more games. I have something that's already been out that's been keeping advertised, just like this has been getting advertised to me, that I want to check out. But other than that, you know, subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe. Make sure you turn those post notifications on so you can be the first to see my content. And as always, donate, please. I need your help. I need your support. No, but really, donate just to, you know, help me do more and provide you with stellar content. But until then, this is the Gamer Dude signing out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.